Good night, folks. We are Friday night after the close, 6th of June. What do you want me to say? I'm not the best person to play games. I'm a kind of transparent guy. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad to be like that, but that's me. I'm angry. I'm angry. Like I used to be in the stock market, because when I have a conviction, I'm always very frustrated when I see a market maker play games and, basically making lose my time. I feel stupid. But that's the price to pay when you have a good place to be that is not already moving. So, I don't know where to start. Yesterday night I didn't did an update because I was busy with the finals of NBA, OKC, Indiana. And I say, well, let's wait for Friday night to see how we close the week. So the good part is that we close above $1. It's better to be here than to be in the 90 cents area or to face a big dump manipulation like last Friday, the week before. The thing I don't like is that on very, very low volume, they bring us under several resistance support, the 5, the 10, 20 EMA. They do all that on very, very little orders. I'm trying to analyzing level 2. In the morning it was very strong. It seems that we were heading in the direction of 114, 118. And then all of a sudden, in the afternoon, they just make a little drop, something like 100K. And from that moment, we stay under 104 artificially, naturally. Why I say artificially? Because, again, that's why I'm angry. Again, 77% Darkpool activity. Official shorts, 53%. So, clearly they are controlling the price with the Darkpool and with the official short, and we don't even know what's going on with the fail to deliver and the naked short and all that. So we are stuck here. Now, that's the technical part. What I would like to share with you, because I'm thinking that for me, you need to remember here we have a company who is not related or dependent to tariff with China or energy cost and all these things. It's about software and service in the cybersecurity sector. It's a sector, when you look at the competition, who is normally trading between 5 to 20 times gross sales, depending the size of the company. And it's a sector where naturally, when you are targeting the software part, especially with the SaaS and all that, you are looking for very high margins, between 30 to 80% margins. So that's the reason why the market give a 5 to 20 times sales to this sector. Usually when I'm interested in a stock with around $1, there is two reasons. Or it's a kind of, not scam, but company who play games because they want to dilute, to basically survive and pay the salary of the CEO and the directors. or it's a turnaround story. Turnaround story, you know my list: CLOV, MVST, EOS, GRRR, etc. Here, I feel confident. That's why I've been selling a lot of other position to buy the maximum I can over here. I don't feel that I'm in a kind of trap, because the float is not ultra low, but it's low. 32 million with 7 million in the hands of insiders is not a lot. That means that the stock can react very aggressively with volume. But when you don't have volume, market makers are able to play games because there is few shares. So they can manipulate with drops or buys who are important. If you see the today trade activity in detail, you will see that in the close, I think in the last 10 minutes, they buy roughly 100K, the same 100K they sold earlier. They cover that in the close. So they can do all that, and I think we are at 104 after hours. So that was basically saying that all the sales at 101, 102 was of kind of manipulate sales. But they can do that because there is no buying pressure. But with this kind of profile of stock, you need to be in and accumulate in this kind of period. Because when it's busy with volume, it's very, very difficult. You all remember after the run on 66 million in volume, the days after, we were going up until 170, coming from $1 after the run. So it was already running from 40 cents. So from 40 cents to $1, from $1 to 170, on volume were very regular, not crazy stuff, you know. Imagine they come with some kind of official news about what they already talk about, you know, some kind of link with Amazon and all that. They come with some kind of huge thing. This is a sort of catapult. Because let's be logic. If you can go from $1, well, let's say 40 cents, because it was not $1. $1 was after the big volume. But if you can go from 40 cents to 170 only on one push, that means that if you have concrete and big and, you know, news who impact the market, this is completely out of control. Especially with 7 million in the hands of insiders who are not selling, ATM who is ready to be cancelled in the days to come, with a stock price with around roughly less than 1 time sales. I mean, concretely, that's mean if you pull out of the float the insiders' ownership plus the retail, or for the long term here, I don't know, you maybe have 10, 15 million shares available. You know, I have a whole bunch of company who have been going from 50 cents to $2-3 in weeks, and they have like 200-300 million shares in the market. So you need a lot of buying pressure to push it. But here we are one news away, really, of being in a catapult. And this is the reason you see all these games from the market maker, it's because they need to be prepared. And sometimes it take time. They need to be prepared to have shares to drop on new buyers when this stock will run. Because if they are already out of shares, okay, and then you have news, what they are going to do? Because if you don't have shares to drop on the new buyers, you will be halted every 30 minutes. And you know how this thing goes. Everything you have a stock was halted. You have some sellers who do some panic selling, and they cover. Then the price go down, then go up again, re-halt, and then go down, and finally, traders don't want to be stuck in a stock who is halted and or is too volatile, and they sell, so they can cover and the price drop, and then they will build a new run 3-4 weeks later. So here I see especially the big trick of last Friday on 12 million shares, the big drop. I see it as a kind of manipulation to accumulate shares at the lowest price possible in order to sell them when there is some news. And I don't say that's the case here, but sometimes you need to understand we are talking about big money, Sometimes the CEOs, and I don't say that's the case here. I say that happened, just to mention that. Sometimes the CEO, they wait to release some news because they are informed that market maker needs shares, and that's not the moment. So they say, okay, let me postpone the news 7 days, 10 days away, or something like that. That happened. Because you always want to have the market maker on your side, so you don't want them to destroy your company or just push it to bankruptcy. So just to let you remember some important things, because not everybody know that. To be kind of delinquent and have a notice from the NASDAQ, you need to trade 30 days under $1 to have a kind of warning from the NASDAQ. And then you have, 180 days to recover. So every time you close above $1, it's always good because, at least you are not beginning a phase of closing under $1. And then, in order to be listed, you need to trade 7 consecutive days above $1. So, actually, because it's always the same story. I remember, I don't have the graph under my eyes, but I remember seeing a few weeks ago, not a long time ago, ETRG in the gold sector. I see it was turning around $1. And I say, that's crazy. This company, every specialist is saying minimum $3 per share. I mean, what they are playing around $1. I mean, I've been reading the analysis and all that. This is insane. And it takes some time. Because after that, the stock touched $2 before retraced to 1.5, and I think tonight is 1.75. They need shares. So they need to push out impatient, anxious, emotional people get distracted by other stock. I was writing on stock tweets that I have friends, that write me in private that when CISO was at 99 cents, 98 cents, they sell and they buy some FAAS at 130, 140. because they say volume, action, better chart, this and that. And then FAAS dropped from 140 to 50 cents and rebound today to the 200 moving average, 80 cents, before redrop to 70 cents. But you have a lot of people, like some of my friends, who sold because they don't know fundamental, they don't know about the story, they only see about the stock price movement. They sold CISO at $1, roughly, to buy FAAS at 130, 140. Well, after a few days, CISO is at the same price, but FAAS have dropped 50%. So it's good and bad to have movement because the stock gets volatile, attract a lot of flippers, and then you have price going up and down like crazy. Here, we are building a base above the 200 moving average with the market maker collecting shares, and who knows until when. My personal opinion, and I hope to be right, is that starting the 9 or the 10 of June, we should see some kind of thing happening. But I have so many examples, the list is so long, of shares that have been manipulated. And so I was saying, I have so many examples of companies that I've been seeing turning around the dollar. You know, the dollar zone is a very difficult, very difficult area to extract yourself because there is so many implications. I mean, when you have a company, and I repeat, I know I'm repeating, I'm not stupid, but CLOV, MVST. When you have a companies like that trading under $1, that's mean that the market think you are going out of business, to be clear. And when they think you go out of business, they basically sell short every day because they say we will never be forced to cover. And when the company declare bankruptcy, they cover at 10 cents. And they have been shorting at $1, 90 cents, 80 cents, 70 cents, 60 cents. They're making tons of money. They just cover because the party is over. The company filed for Chapter 11. And so that's why you have a lot of people who like to buy stocks or going bankruptcy, because you have some kind of technical run on short covering. But when they are wrong, like in CLOV, MVST, etc., you have some amazing runs after that because they need to cover high. So naturally, that takes time because if they need to cover a lot of shares, they can push the price to $10 one shot. So they want to avoid that. And so the game here is difficult because we depend on the CEO basically releasing some kind of news who say, folks, we are not going out of business. The CEO have been telling, we are shifting business model, going from service to software. We have 600 clients. We are compliant with a lot of very strict convention and certification. They are well known. I mean, I've been made some calls. This company exists. They really have some clients. But it's, how can I say? The company have made some little errors in the past. They have been buying a lot of other business to grow, and some of this business was not with high margins. So, you know, there was all the debt, on high interest debt to pay, that they just get out. So we are in a period now where the market don't really know what's going on over there. What will be the impact on the earning per share of the debt with a raise? What about the software part? What about the margins and the growing percentage? It's still foggy. That's why you pay less than 1 time sales. When things are going to be more clear, you will not have this debt, high interest debt, pushing the earning per share down. You will have more and more software SaaS business, part of the business growing. When everything will be clear, you are going to pay, in my humble opinion, because it's a small. So when you are small, you are growing fastly than when you are big. So that's the reason why small business grow a lot more quickly. So if everything's clear, I'm pretty convinced that you will find a company with a valuation between, difficult to say, but $5, $6, $7 per share. When everything is clear. Now it's foggy. We know they go out of the debt, that they have high margins, software sales, that they are restructuring a lot of things. But we need numbers, And the problem I have a weakness, to be honest with you. I have a weakness is that sometimes, a lot of time, I have a conviction, I buy, and then when the thing don't go as quick as I want, I go elsewhere. And each time, I'm losing money. I'm losing money that I give away on the table. SPWH, I have a conviction when I buy at 150 that this will go to $3 to $4. And I sold at 2. And now we are 3. And I'm not in anymore. And each time is the same. MVST was convinced that, I'm convinced personally, MVST, you will see $7, $8 per share. But, I buy at 1.5, I sold at 2.5. Too early. And I really want, in this case, to give my confidence to the CEO. I like the sector, I like the margins, I like the price. I really think that if I stay in the boat, I can really have some kind of trade of a lifetime. Excuse me. I really feel that we are 1 or 2 news away from trading at $5 plus. 1 or 2 news away. And sometimes the market, when they don't have this kind of news, they just keep the head underwater. And they play games. I sell at 110, I reload at 1, I sell at 112, I reload at 101, and they make money. They make money because they're moving a lot of shares. If you are moving, let's say, 200,000 shares, that means that every 10 cents, you are making $20,000. You understand? So it's interesting, until you have the news, to organize movement of 10 cents and go in and out and make your 20,000. But in this case, we are 1 or 2 news away of a catapult run. I really hope the CEO, who really look to be serious and honest from my DD, I really hope that he will do what he say. And in this case, let's imagine, they announce some kind of, big contract with one of their customer. They organize a buyback. It changed the CUSIP numbers. This go ballistic. But until that kind of thing happen, market maker going to play games. Basically, by routing a lot of orders in the Darkpool, around 70% average, and by shorting officially, unofficially, more than 50 to 60% of the shares who are changing hands. I mean, you need to understand, that's logical. You have 32 million shares. 7 million are in the hands of insiders. There is a base of retail who have, 8 to 10 million shares. So that's mean that here we are moving on 10 million shares. 10 million shares at $1 is peanuts. I mean, imagine we have a big Saudi trader who was listening to me, and he's ready to push $1 million here. $1 million mean 1 million shares. So imagine you have a buy order of 1 million shares. That will be complete panic. Worse if it's 10 million, 20 million, 30 million. Remember, it's a business. We have sales of $39 to $40 million. So, makes sense that somebody push, $3 million, 10% of the value. Here, market makers are very fortunate that you don't have big traders with big amount available to basically stop them playing games. They can do that because very few people are talking about CISO. It's very out of the radar. And so, basically we are dealing about 1 million in volume. That's $1 million transaction daily at the current level. That's peanuts. That's nothing. For a company who have sales of 40 million, it's amazing. So will come a day, I think, where we are going to see, like with MVST, 3 to 4 times the float changing hand in one day. That means 100 to 120 million in volume. And if that happen, we will be directly above $2, excuse me. We will directly be above $2. So, patience, but it's frustrating to see that some company, because they have some other things to do, they cannot trap these people. I mean, if I was the company and I have access to cash, I will try to make a big buyback and basically crushing the whole market, because it's a legit business. It's not the kind of company you used to see at $1. It's a legit company. But that's the world we are living, and I've seen that so many times. I mean, I remember in my head a few examples. Back in January, if I remember well, something around that, in January 2024, I remember reading a lot of analysts specializing in the gold sector. They say, yeah, NGD, it's good, but a lot of float, a lot of stock are moving around. It's difficult to move. Buy under $1, don't chase. I'm a buyer at 80 cents, 90 cents. Above $1, it's tricky. The float is high. Be careful. They have an history of missing expectation, blah, blah, blah. Now the stock is around $5. $5 in 15 months, 16 months. Another example, because you can verify, few months ago, you can verify. I mean, you go in Seeking Alpha, and you read what people was writing on APPS, Digital Turbine. It's a software company in the technology sector. And look, the article they are still there. When the stock was around $1 or $2, yeah, broke business model, they are going out of business, no margins, bad, hold, sell, strong sell, short at 150, 160. Again, we are above $5. I mean, in this game, you cannot put your confidence in anybody because people just don't know what they are talking about. They just don't know. They think, I mean, on the reverse, to talk about the bad things, open door. So mortgage company to buy, sell house. Lot of people, lot of funds were buying $2, $2.50. It's a bargain. It's going back to $10. Buy as long as you can. This is the modern way of buying home. Revolutionize the sector. $2, $2.50. We are going to $10 tonight. 65 cents. And Open was a very, very well-known stock with a lot of people trading. So, I'm fed up with the market, with the analysts, with the games, with the false short report, the false bullish statement. At the end of the story, you can only make your DD, make your numbers, and know what you own. All the rest is fluff, is Kool-Aid, it's manipulation. So many analysts on biotech stock are predicting 10-bagger, 20-bagger, and a lot of time that never happen. And they're not afraid to say of a company with a $5 stock, we are going to $75. I mean, this is crazy. VRTX. I like to give example. VRTX. Everybody was saying a few months ago, they are going to be bought out at $100 per share. They have the best molecule on the obesity sector. Buy. There is a lot of short, but they are not right. This is going to be bought out at $100 to $120 per share. VRTX. And then now we are under 30. And a lot of people have been buying. And I have tons of examples of sometime bad statement and the stock go up. And good statement and the stock go down. So actually here on CISO, nobody's talking about, no analyst, no price target, no earning per share provision, nothing. So it's foggy, and market maker are making money in the foggy situation until you have some kind of news that end the game. Buyback, big contract, change in CUSIP number, or whatever. Okay, I'm going to leave it here because I'm talking for too much time. I must be very boring now. I'm not convinced of the ticker VRTX. Maybe it's another one. It's Viking something, it's in the obesity sector in biotech, everybody was talking about 120, and now we are 30. So the short were right over there. You know, it was a big short position. EOS, the same. $7 coming from one with 70 million shares short. I say these people know something. They cannot keep 70 million shares short with the price going from 1 to 7. Then we fall at 380. So, you know, here we have nothing about that. There is no option, there is no analyst, there is nothing. But it's a real business. Do your due diligence. I mean, they exist. And you know, a lot of websites have not already changed the name. You will find Cerberus and not CISO Global, the new name. So they don't even know the name of the company. They still write Cerberus. So we are very, very early. We are very early. And maybe that's the chance that we have. And when the stock will be cruising above $5, we will say, you remember 90 cents? You remember $1? And that can be months away, not years, really. I hope we will be fine. Until there, market maker will play games on the dark pool, and we need to live with that. Take care.